Welcome back to my channel. My name is Blair if you're new here, and today I'm kind of going to show you a little bit of the things I do for like a monthly reset kind of. Some of it's financial, some of it's housework, some of it's tasks. So just to kind of break down the things that I do every single month, at the end, I usually spread this out over the last week of the month, and then anything major that hasn't been done gets completed the weekend before the new month. That way I'm all set and ready to go. But I always make sure I update my debt and budget trackers, which I'll show you how those look in the spreadsheet design I created that I use. And then I also fill out a paper calendar, set up my calendar for work. I also do some cleaning tasks. So there's some things in the house, because you guys have seen I've done cleaning, like my weekly cleaning, which is a very, I guess, surface level. So I kind of do like dusting, vacuuming, and then toilets and sinks are my primary things. And then I have deeper things that I like to do like every other month. So I kind of pick and choose a few things that I do one month, and then the next month I'll do the other things. So things like cleaning toilet bases, the ceiling fans needed to be dusted, cleaning mirrors, maybe cleaning the shower walls, the dryer vent needs to be cleaned out, baseboards, you know, these are just some of the things. I'm only going to do a few and I'll show you as I do them. And then I also have this kind of like running to-do list of things that I either want to do in my house or things that need to get done. So I usually try to pick one item off of that to complete each month. And then, you know, if I'm bored and feel like doing something, I'll by all means do more. But I always aim to complete one thing off that list so it doesn't get too long. But that's just kind of a running to-do list that I do. But let's get into the video. I think the clips you're gonna see first are gonna be the cleaning ones because I did do those earlier in the week. And then I'll bring you to the more current time where I do more of the digital paperwork part of it. Yeah, so let's get into the video. Another thing I do besides some random deep cleaning is like one task off my list, and one of them I want to try and change these light bulbs out so they're all the same, and these energy efficient ones, because I think that's why this lighting is so yellow in here every time I turn it on and I'm trying to film. So we're going to try fresh bulbs in it and see if that helps, and if it doesn't, then I know I just need different light bulbs. But let me go ahead and do that. Well, that was an epic fail. I do not understand why none of those light bulbs work, because they work in everything else, and there's even one in one of them already. So I don't know if it's just time for a new chandelier, which I wanted to replace it, but I don't know. That's just really bizarre to me. But I guess I'll keep these light bulbs and use them for something else. Alright, so another thing I do for work purposes, I've started just printing off these like random blank calendars to track like my sales for my job. So at the beginning of every month, I always try to go through it, mark my paydays off, and then Also my days off, because I do have like a rotating weekend schedule, so that way I'm aware of when I'm off, because sometimes it gets rather confusing. So next weekend I am off. Let's see. And we're off here. I'm actually off this weekend and then this. Okay, so that's how that's set up. So I just highlight in green my paydays and then X out my days off. I X off each day as I go through the month. So kind of looks like this. And then I mark down my sales each day and then keep like a running total for my own tracking for a bonus. So the rest of what I do is computer work type things to prepare for. So I do use the calendar that's on the computer as well as my phone. That way it kind of syncs over. And I kind of go through it with the same thing. I add all my work days so that way I can keep track of, when I work, because of the randomness, especially if I'm out and about visiting people, then I can see it at a glance. So what I'm going to do is just kind of run through this and copy my work schedule into my digital calendar. That way it's there, and I'll show you that as I do it. Okay, so the first thing I always do is just automatically copy work schedule, and then I go paste it into the days that I'll be working. And then I add any important appointments that I might have, church, and then bills. I also put my bills in my calendar because it shows up on the main screen of my cell phone. So that way if I forgot to pay a bill, which honestly is very rare because I usually pay everything on payday, I at least get reminded, hey, you didn't pay it. So that's a good thing. But on here, we're going to jump to September. So I'm going to go ahead and add into this week here my work days, which, like I said, I work 8 to 4:30 every day, and then I have a rotating weekend schedule. I'm always off on the weekends, on Sundays though. So, but again, it just helps if a friend asks me like, hey, are you free to do something? Then I at least know, not that I'm really doing much of anything right now, but at least that way I already have it marked down. So, and then this is a payday, which actually my schedule works out quite nice because my paydays are my days off. So that way I can actually go get groceries right away as well. And I know that I at least have food going forward. All right. Okay, so that takes care of work, and then I just kind of glance to see if there's anything I'm still missing that I need to add. I did see this one on this day. I need to change this because I do color code things, activities or stuff outside of the house. So I have those in orange. Anything related to my friend's wedding right now is in purple. Church I do in blue because sometimes there are church events as well. It's not just watching church online. And then work is in blue, home stuff. So anything I do in my house that I have planned or scheduled, I do pink. My bills are in green. And then anything YouTube, which I very rarely put anything for YouTube on here, but if I did, at least it would be in here. So let's see, we gotta do Riley to the vet. This is gonna be a very sad day because he's getting his second dose. And in all reality, I am dreading it because he has to stay overnight, which means I'm gonna be without him for 2 full days, which for me is crazy because I am very, very, very rarely without my dog. Okay. I think that's everything I need to put in here right now for September. And then the next thing that I do is set up my budgeting sheets for the new month. Budgeting, debt sheets. I also take a look at sinking funds. I'm going to explain it to you and show it to you a little bit. So the way I do my budgeting sheets is that I use like a spreadsheet, and I keep all of one year in one workbook thing. So I add a new tab, and then I go ahead and rename it for the month September budget or September debt sheets. And then I just kind of copy and paste it from the previous month because everything is the same format, and then I just kind of update it. So here you can see I'm like copying and pasting this spreadsheet workbook over to the next one. It's just easier than having to retype it, and then I can just make any adjustments from there. But I do on my debt sheet, I have a section for like credit cards, student loans, and in my mortgage. So this is literally any debt that I actually have. And it kind of puts it all in one place, so it's a little easier to see balances, where I stand, if I pay anything extra one month, roughly where my balances should fall. So it just kind of helps keep me accountable. But once I first copy and paste it all over, I go and delete anything payment wise, because I have to wait and see what my updated payments are. For Capital One, I'm just putting in an automatic one because that's the snowball one I'm on. So I do pay a set amount, which is extra from what's due. And then I also go through and highlight the balance section of the ones that I do not have updated balances for the month of September, or well, basically the balances. So I know to go back through it and update it. So that is my debt tracker. Then the next one we're going to do is another new sheet, and this will be September. Now I always put it after the current month in terms of the tabs. That way I can move it over once that month is over. So again, for the September budget, create a new tab. We're going to go over and copy and paste from August. Sorry, I try to make sure everything's uniform and the same across the board, so gotta update the text and stuff. Okay, so again, here I am copying and pasting this. Now, if there was ever like a month where I have 3 paychecks, which does happen a couple times a year, I can go through this, copy it once, and then just copy the next section. But this way I also know where my bills fall, because I kind of keep them consistent with certain paychecks of the month or together with them, and that's because it's worked out well based on the calendar dates of when those things are due. Then I go through and delete the income and update the paycheck dates. That way those coincide with the actual date of my paychecks, so I know what to look for. Okay, and then after I get both of my paycheck dates updated for that month, I go through, I don't delete the due dates necessarily because those tend to be pretty consistent, but I will delete any of the variable paychecks that maybe, or not paychecks, bills that are fluctuating each month. That way I know I have to fill in that blank, and then I unhighlight anything that I had highlighted special for a reason. Let's change that. So no more highlighting on this because that's been paid and it's a new month. And then I go through and delete any amounts I paid, and then the date I paid them on. So that's how I do this section. And then down here I have a grocery section. I put in a budget amount of $200 every month, but I kind of keep track of it right after I went grocery shopping. And then that way I can put in what's remaining in my bank account, and I kind of know exactly what I have left after everything's been done. So again, next paycheck period, I'm going through and deleting what's due. Okay, so again, just double checking I have all the trackers correct. Then I also have a sinking funds tab, which I've talked about in that money video. But this is where I have like all of my sinking funds, how much I feel like I should keep in there, how much I currently have, how much I still need to add, And on the side, I kind of put the paychecks, and then that way I know like how much I'm putting towards each one before I get paid. And then I also have emergency savings tab. This I just kind of keep track of what I'll need once I get debt paid off to do my where you save like 3 to 6 months of living expenses. So working on that. And then I also have this little annual review tab that I created. So at the beginning of the year, I kind of go through and write down everything I have, assets, debts, so I can kind of see a better idea of my net worth. I kind of put in some financial goals and savings goals. And then in December 31st, just before the new year, I actually go through this and refill it out. And it honestly, because when I sit here and think about debt, all I can feel like I have is debt, just debt, debt, debt. And it's very discouraging. So when I did this for the first time and actually put down what I had for assets versus what I had for debt, I actually came out in the green, which I was very impressed with considering the amount of debt I had. But it was nice to see it laid out. And then like at the end of the year, it also shows me like how much progress I made. So it's very encouraging and nice to watch or look at. But that is the annual overview, and then we go back to my budget. So I do this throughout the year, add new tabs for the month, and then, yeah, it's just nice to keep it all in one place throughout the year. And then, like I said, December 31st, I'll fill it out and then create my new tab. So that's the budgeting debt tracker sheets that I do use. And I think that's everything I'm going to do on the computer. The next thing I'm going to do actually is I like to have a paper copy as well of bills. Sorry, my foot's falling asleep from sitting on the floor. All right. So for this, I have a planner that I use predominantly so I can keep track of my daily to-do things. So here's kind of like my weekly spread. Like I mentioned, I can put down what my meal plan was for that week, any to-dos that I need to do, especially the dog's medications, you know, anything that just kind of comes up. Then we have in here a monthly spread. So the monthly spread, literally all I do, I'm gonna go back to August and show you. What I have is I go through here, write down all my bills, the amounts due, if I have any major pertinent appointments I need to be aware of. And then I kind of highlight the bills as they're paid. And then I also put birthdays for anyone I need to be aware of. So I'm going to actually go through September and go ahead and start filling in anything pertinent that I need to know and any bills. I hope you can deal with the backlighting. I just, honestly, my foot is like dead asleep right now. All right. Oh, and I forgot to mention the boxes that you saw that were green, again, paychecks, just again, so I'm aware, because when I lay out my bills on here, then I know which bills fall before which paychecks, and that way, again, I stay on track of it with it. So like I mentioned, almost all my bills are pretty much due on the same day. It's just that some of the payment amounts may fluctuate. So I'm going to run through this and just kind of fill it in, and I'll show you as I do it. Again, this is the overview. Okay, and then I'm going to go back because, again, a lot of these bills I already paid with the paycheck from the previous month. So I don't need to worry about these. Then I need to go back through with any appointments. I think that's everything I need to put in here for right now, but this is kind of how I lay it out. Again, so I have a visual representation of my bills, and at a glance, like as soon as I get the emails of what's due, the amounts, I can come back through here and fill them out, which helps me to transfer it over to my spreadsheets. So that is the last thing I'm going to do on here. So this is how I kind of do my monthly reset. A little bit of household, a little bit of financial preparation, and then just calendar type preparation. I know some people do goals every month. I don't know that I necessarily like goals for monthly because I feel like sometimes you kind of just fail more so at them. So I'm more of a, let's set my goals for the year intentions, and then I kind of work at them, because some things I can complete really quick and some things I can't. And it may take all year to get through them. So I more set my goals at the beginning of the year and then just try to achieve as many of them as I can throughout the year. Like I said, if you want to know more about how I set goals and things, let me know. I'll probably aim to do that in December going into January as a video. But again, this is how I do my monthly reset, a little bit of housework and a little bit of preparation financially and calendar wise for the new month. I hope you enjoyed. Maybe there was something useful that helps you. And as always, I hope everybody has a blessed day.